The Inspiration 4 mission is widely regarded as one of the most successful all-crew flights in history. The trip was not simply a space visit in which an astronaut would go into space and return within a few hours, as Virgin Galactic did a few weeks earlier. The Inspiration 4 mission took out on September 15th and landed on September 18th, and it was largely manned by civilians with no professional space expertise. But crew members had to go through basic training before the trip to have a feel of what to expect. Perhaps Apple devices will be utilized for any future space trips SpaceX would conduct to the Moon or the red planet Mars. This is what led to the strong cooperation between Apple, the renowned luxury gadget brand, and SpaceX, the world's best performing and leading space company. Welcome to TechSpace. Stick with us as we reveal the crazy reaction Elon Musk made toward US President Joe Biden after Inspiration 4 flight. Bet you are about to witness what will thrill your mood. The journey was suspended in the sky thanks to 4 enormous parachutes, and the SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule landed softly and splashed down in the Atlantic Ocean near Cape Canaveral, Florida. However, despite the flight's sudden loud success, coupled with the noise and trend it created on social media, US President Joe Biden never once made a comment about the flight, not even a congratulatory message, and this has caused many people to panic. At one point, many people began to believe His Excellency Joe Biden had negative plans or maybe something against SpaceX company. On board the journey, crew members used Apple gadgets such as the Apple Watch and iPads to monitor the weather conditions in space, as well as changes that may occur in their body system as they navigated from one place in space to the other. Some experiments were also conducted in space with the assistance of installed app on the Apple iPad, and this app is responsible for carrying out a wide range of experiments covering everything from studying the genome to balancing blood sugar, as well as the human organ and respiratory system behavior for research purposes. Let us first discuss what transpired amongst the crew members aboard during the trip before we reveal to you the US President's attitude toward SpaceX. We wouldn't hesitate to declare that the crew members had a remarkable time on board the 3-day journey into Earth's orbit, based on their statements following the flight. Elon Musk, the CEO of SpaceX, has pledged to improve the passenger experience on the next flight. A pizza was provided as the first meal inside the Dragon capsule. While biting on a slice of pizza in space is an amazing feat in and of itself, the pizza was cold. Musk, on the other hand, chimed in, apologizing for the cold pizza and promised that there will be hot food and free Wi-Fi in the Dragon capsule on the next voyage. However, pizza was not the only meal offered inside the Dragon capsule. In fact, the crew could eat very well while traveling across space. During the 3-day flight, crew members were reported to have enjoyed eating pizza bagels, sandwich, veggie platter, Mediterranean lamb, pasta, meatball, roasted edamame, salami, bacon cheddar, pasta bolognese, tortillas, beef, and turkey jerky. And apart from tea and coffee, there were a variety of snack items such as pastries, granola bars, and olives, which were taken at breakfast. However, crew members couldn't determine whether it was morning, night, or afternoon throughout the trip, so they had to eat whenever they were hungry. Elon Musk lashed out at President Biden when the commander-in-chief refused to recognize SpaceX's first all-civilian successful flight. One of Elon Musk's 60 million Twitter followers pointed out that the White House and Biden had yet to remark on the mission, which had returned to Earth successfully. According to the complete tweet of the Twitter user at @rhensing, he wrote, "The President of the United States has failed to even recognize the 4 newest American astronauts who have raised hundreds of millions of dollars for St. Jude. Can you explain why that is?" "He's still asleep," Musk answered. Since the flight's successful landing, the White House has yet to comment on the mission, dubbed Inspiration 4, which marks the first time an all-civilian crew has ever reached Earth's orbit. The flight's all-civilian crew included Jared Isaacman, Haley Arsenault, Chris Szymborski, and Dr. Sian Proctor. They spent 3 days orbiting the space at an altitude of more than 335 miles, almost 75 miles higher than the International Space Station and on par with the Hubble Space Telescope. A 38-year-old jet pilot called Isaacman led the expedition, and according to sources, he spent a stunning $200 million as a flight ticket. And even with this money, he was blessed to be among those who really flew in the Crew Dragon. Perhaps there were others bidding to pay more for the airline ticket, which is why he stated he was privileged. On the mission, 2 seats were given, with the second going to Szymborski, who won a contest that raised $113 million for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Following Musk's $50 million gift, the flight helped collect more than $200 million for St. Jude's. After the crew touched down in the Atlantic Ocean, a dispatcher said in a live feed of the event, "On behalf of SpaceX, welcome home to planet Earth. Your mission has shown the world that space is for all of us, and that ordinary people can make amazing effects on the world around them. And this was a fantastic news that motivated everyone to have even greater faith in SpaceX and Elon Musk. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson and other top officials from the National Aeronautics and Space Administration commended everyone engaged in the flight. SpaceX's space competitors, including Boeing, Lockheed Martin, and even Jeff Bezos, the founder of Blue Origin, who we expected to react negatively, instead joined to congratulate the company on the flight. Unfortunately, there was no congratulation message from the US President among all of the congratulation messages that were poured on crew members on board the Inspiration 4 mission, both on social media and in person. It's not as though His Excellency Joe Biden had a grudge against SpaceX, since based on history, he has always been friendly with Musk. On second thought, things start to come apart, because this isn't the first time Musk has clashed with the Biden administration. Previously, when Tesla broke the record for being the most advanced and popular EV on the market, Musk stated that no one from Tesla was called to the White House for a conference on the future of electric vehicles, despite rivals Ford, GM, and Stellantis being present. More recently, Musk challenged a Biden administration proposal to provide an additional $4,500 in incentives to owners of some new electric vehicles, but only if they are manufactured in the United States by unionized employees. Later, someone else tweeted a picture from the film Alien, identifying the alien grasping an astronaut's face as UAW, and the victim is Biden. Musk answered with the words, "Seems that way." A comment like this, coming directly from Elon, must have struck a deep chord in our bones. Musk has again clashed with the United Auto Employees Union, which has so far been unable to organize workers at Tesla's facilities. The Biden administration has been very beneficial to Musk's ventures in a number of ways, including the fact that SpaceX has NASA contracts to carry both supplies and U.S. personnel to the International Space Station. Many predate Biden's election, but the company has received additional NASA contracts worth more than $2.9 billion to build spacecraft that will land astronauts on the moon for the first time in 5 decades. Despite opposition from Blue Origin, the rocket company led by Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, which also sought the contract. Tesla has reaped significant benefits from regulatory tax credits it sold to other manufacturers that were not adhering to stricter pollution regulations. Yes, Tesla solely sells EVs and has an excess of credits that may be sold. If the Biden administration tightens emissions restrictions, as it has advocated, those credits may benefit Musk the most. Until the most recent quarter, Tesla would never have earned a profit without the proceeds from the sale of those credits. And the credits also helped support its early operations when it was still losing money. Tesla has profited in the past from a $7,500 tax credit given to customers of electric vehicles, which allowed Musk to raise the price of any of his EVs. Although there would be restrictions on the car's price and the buyer's income for it to be claimed, it would not necessarily apply to all Tesla purchases. Do you believe His Excellency, President of the United States Joe Biden, believes Elon Musk is doing something daring and deserves praise for his goal of bringing people to Mars? Please do well to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Until next time, please like, share, subscribe, and while you're still around, why don't you click on one of those flashing videos on the screen for more content?